Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. If there's anyone who is just simply here to watch port matching a header, just want to see the process, how I do it, it's going to be in part two. Part one, we're going to do some Nitro talking about Nitro stuff, about port matching header, about this and that, but the actual I'm actually going to do the work in part number two. If that's the only thing you want to see, you might want to go to that. But for everyone else, let's talk about Nitro. If you're into Nitro, engines, vehicles, anything at all to do with the Nitro side of the hobby, you know what I was thinking about the other day? Someone had mentioned this in a comment a while back. No, I don't ask. I don't want to ask anyone for money. But I do want to earn money from this channel. I do. So, without asking anyone for it, the only way I can get anything is from YouTube. So, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff doesn't cost anything, but it would help me out, and I would really, really appreciate it. All right. Port matching a header is what we're going to talk about today. I this moment just realized that this is pretty much a small block thing. Well, it's a side exhaust thing. Rear exhaust engines are pretty much the header and the engine are port matched. But on small block engines, on side exhaust engines, you can have a situation where you're running a header that is not well matched to your engine. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about, and we're going to do it, and we're going to run an experiment. So let me lay out how this came to be. And number one, I know that I start projects all the time, and I might not finish them, but I think I can knock this one out in pretty much a day. So hopefully I can keep my interest in it long enough to make a couple videos on this. All right, so when I pulled out this, I think when I was doing my touring car video, I did a video showing some touring cars. When I pulled this out, it kind of jogged my memory, okay? And I'm like, isn't that the one? Isn't that the HPI RS4, right? I know that there is an HPI RS4, which is in dire need of a port match. The factory installed header has a very small opening and can benefit greatly from a port matching, right? At least that's what has always been said, right? So number one, I was like, I believe it's this vehicle. I believe it's this, the RS4 I'm pretty sure that it's this chassis, this header here, that is the one that needs the port match, right? So that was my first thing. And then I'm like, well, how about... if it is, it would be great to run an experiment. Number one, we have a bone stock vehicle here. This HPI RS4 Evo is 100% unmodified, right? Bone stock servos, engine, pipe, and manifold, all right? So what I'm thinking is I will, as is, okay, totally bone stock, I'm going to hook up the GPS unit, and I'm going to get as high a speed as I can. Basically, I'm going to take it out in bone stock form, and I'm going to tune it best I can to get the top speed that I can get out of it. All right, and we'll see what that is. And then we'll do a video where I do my version of the home port matching, right, to this header. Change nothing else, right? Same fuel, same glow plug, same original stock pipe, coupler, everything the same except for the port match on the header. Boom, hit it with the GPS again, and see, get some actual data. Number one, can we get more power from port matching the header? And number two, how much more power, how much more speed is that we can get from port matching the header? At least as good as I can do it, okay? I have done a few, at least 2 or 3, 4, at least 1 or 2 of this exact one, and I'm sure some others. I think it'd be a great experiment. That's the kind of stuff I want to bring to y'all. That's to me, that's some good Nitro tech right there. The classic port match, right? Does it? What can you get from port matching your header at home, right? With the Dremel. How we're going to do it. So I threw some fuel in here. From what I remember, I ran this before. I'm pretty sure that it's good to go. I'm not 100% positive the 2-speed works, but I don't see why it wouldn't. If not, I'll see if I can adjust it. But we'll see. I haven't ran it in a long time. The other thing I wanted to do, because I'm going to be taking it to a parking lot. Now, this isn't going to be a well-manicured track made for these cars. It's going to be a parking lot. So at the speeds I'm going to be going, right, I'm going to be trying to take this thing up to top speed, right? At those speeds, a little bump, a little rock in the road can send this thing a-flipping. So we're going to take a little bit of precaution. Number one, I wanted to stiffen the suspension up a bit. It's really low and really soft. So I got my shock adjustment clip tub here. I guess you call these. Let me see. 10th scale touring car. Probably, how big do I want? Let me try those right there. See, number one, if they fit. And then number two, let me go ahead and put them both on and I'll see how it feels. It's certainly much stiffer now and higher. And I don't know if I want it quite, that might be a bit much. So let me take those out. And where's that? Did I just grab those from? Let me just grab these smaller ones here. And I'll throw these on. Are we in frame, I hope? All right. There we go. That's better. It's firmer, but it ain't super bouncy. And then in the front, where it look like, let me just dig through here. Maybe something about like yay. See if I can find a match to that. Yeah. Is that a bit too big? It's not fitting on great. That one fits a little better. Sorry. You know, so I'm like halfway. I'm like, there's some stuff I want to do off camera, right? I'm like, they don't want to watch me digging through and looking for stuff, right, and this and that. But then also, I'm like, well, no, maybe, you know, we're hanging out here, you know, we're hanging out, we're talking, we're working on nitros. All right, I feel better with that. My suspension's a little firmer. save it from bottoming out and scratching the crap out of the bottom. I was thinking swapping on another head, because there's a good chance it'll flip, and this is a nice black original head. I went over to my cooling head collection and look, and I got a couple here. That one is really rough shape, look like it's been underwater. And then that one, it's already got a scratch on it. I'm thinking, yeah, that right there, all of that gunk on there may mess with the thermal efficiency of that thing. So this head is at least in pretty good shape. I won't worry about getting a scratch on it. All right, so let me swap this head real quick. I believe we're 2 millimeter, right? It's not that. Is it the green one? Yeah. So I'm going to swap this head on here. And then we're going to attach the GPS. I think I'm going to try to put it on that rear shock mount there. Now, I want to run it with the body, but also I'm going to need to be tweaking the tune, and I can't do that with the body on. So maybe I'll do the top tune with the body off, and then maybe do the top speed run with the body on. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And yeah, it's the same head, just a different version of it. And I'm not gonna, do I want to look in there? I mean, I don't really do or don't want to. It fired right up and ran, so it should be perfectly fine. Come on now. Let me go ahead and throw these onto here. I already got fuel in it. Should be, I doubt we'll even have to refill the tank. Like I said, I'm just going to get it warmed up all the way, and then get the top speed that I can out of it. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. We will log that. Oh yeah, so let me finish this up, and then, all right, so I was thinking, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's this vehicle, right? That header needs a port match really badly. But I wasn't positive, right? So I'm like, I wonder if, let me go digging through my box of manifolds and whatnot, and see if I have a spare, another of that header, the one that's on this vehicle here. That way we could take a look at it before I rip it apart. Like, right without a spare, I'd have to take it apart to make sure that it's even the one that I'm looking for, right? Let me lock these down good. All right, we got our replacement head on there, but we're not too worried about getting scratched. So I dug through my parts, and yes, I do have, this is that header. You could even see the flare through the rubber right there. See how it's flared on the end? That is that header. So this header, that header, does it need a port match? Right, is the question. Yes, it does. So that is the stock header, and that is the stock opening. Like I said, part 2 is going to be the actual me doing the the port match. But I wanted to really quickly, since we're here and we're wrapping, show you basically how I do. So I'm digging through my stuff here to get this. I'm not going to be using this. This is an adapter to go from side exhaust to round exhaust. But I've got some gaskets on here. So how I port match a header, am I going to have to unscrew this all the way off of here? How I port match a header is I throw a gasket onto the header, verify on the engine that the gasket matches the engine. It usually does. The gasket usually more closely lines up, with the port on the engine than does the manifold. So these are some long manifold bolts here. So what I do, let's take for example this aluminum gasket. All right, so that's what the port on your engine looks like. It's that long rectangle there. That's what we'll verify when we take this off. But this right here will match up very closely to the engine. So what you then do is you attach it. I'm going to put the bolts here and bolt this piece into place, right? And then basically that gives me my template of where I need to cut. I'm going to shave down the sides here. It's going to be a smooth flow. You don't want this also, see how it's got like a hard edge it's hitting right there as it tries to come out. You don't want anything, you want everything smooth. So this is going to be the size and shape of that rectangle, but smooth down on the edges. It's going to go nicely. And there, I'll show you how I do it with the Dremel. But that's basically how you port match a header. Use your gasket as a template. You could mark it, with Sharpie or whatever. And then I'll show you what bits I use, and we'll port match the header for the RS4 here. And we'll see if we get improvement. All right. So I showed you that. I took a half hour pulling those off of there. I'll put those back later. What do we have left to do? The GPS unit is charging. I believe it should be pretty charged. Let me fire up. I hope my iPad is charged. Yeah, okay, so I got gas on my iPad here. Let me pull up the GNSS Performance Analyzer. And it says it's at 41% battery. Let me see if it'll read, if it'll get a GPS reading or satellite reading. It's on. Yeah, it's turned on. It usually takes 30, maybe 60 seconds for it to get a satellite lock. But then once it does, you're ready to go. 41, 42. I mean, it's got enough. I'm not going to. Y'all don't need to see me attach it. Yeah, I've attached it before. I attach it. Oh, let me talk about. Okay, there, boom. I got satellite now, so it would be ready to operate. All right, real quick before I go. So I guess maybe. No, I'm going to add. Okay, so it's not going to. Part 2 is going to be the port match, right? So I will attach the section where we're about to go run this thing here shortly. The other thing I want to mention really quickly. So this came stock, right? This is bone stock. It was. These are the tires that come on it. These are stock tires. They're not good for high speed. If they have foam in them, they're really, really soft. These are just very much not a good high-speed tire. So, looking for what I had handy. I got some foam somewhere, but I don't want to go digging through boxes. I had these pretty handy, and these are really good. I've ran these before. These are HPI. They're like a hard rubber, a solid rubber. Very good racing tire. I really like these. The track is ever so slightly, maybe like a millimeter or two, narrower because of the different offset. But they'll be much more stable than these at high speed, I guarantee. So we have the new tires on there. We got a cooling head, sacrificial lamb cooling head here. Other than that, should be able to fire her right up and see what she can do. I'm going to let it charge for a bit, and then, you know what? I'll let it charge for a bit, and then I'll start the video, and we'll attach it here. Let me let it charge for a bit. Maybe get something to drink, because I'm parched over here. And we'll be back with some more talk, and port matching a header is going to be in part 2. But we're going to run this Mamma Jamma. We're going to see what she can do. What's your guess? You know what? I'm going to give it a guess. It's got on the box, what's it say? 45? The box. I got the original box somewhere. And I believe it says, does it say 45 or 55? I'm not sure, but it says a speed on there. But stock motor, stock gearing, we're running 20% fuel. I'm thinking that we're going to get, if we get 40 out of it, I'll be happy. If we can break 40, get close to 45, that'll be not bad at all. I just noticed, where in the heck is my antenna not sticking out? Now I am running a 6-volt hump pack in here. I am following my own advice. I took out the 4AA pack, and I have a 6-volt hump pack in there. Yeah, I'm not getting, oh, is that antenna? All right. Did I do that? I guess I did. I got the antenna wrapped around the bottom there, and then a piece of heat shrink. It's 2.4 gigahertz. The only thing I'm wondering is, so why did I leave all the rest of that? Don't really need it if the antenna is down there. Let me see. I mean, I want to leave some of it, but maybe about like yay, a little bit more. There we go. I like that for some reason. All right. What was I doing? Oh, let me put my clip back in there. Don't want to forget that. So, like I said, yeah, I do have a 6-volt hump pack in it. We have done radio testing to make sure it seems to be operating beautifully on both channels. You know what I wanted to test was, all right, so let me hold it, the throttle a little bit open. That JST connection, I don't like that JST connection. It's not a great connection. Just wanted to make sure it's good and firm in there. I was certain to, put them together, and I actually stuck them in there to where they're being pushed together. So, all right, we got a good connection on the JST. Fully charged, 6 volt, fresh, double A's in here. So we are ready to go. We've done everything we need. We've set ourselves up for success, right? Got our tires on, our protective head. What did I just say? 6 volt pack in there. We are ready to go. I'll be back when I'm a little bit charged, and we will attach the GPS. I'll see y'all then. All right, so we got some charge on here on our GPS. I don't know why it's on. I left these here to remind me to say that I took these off, right? I'm no touring car expert, but after I put them on, I'm like, do I want it bouncier, right? If it hits a bump, is it going to bounce and flip? And lower the better, right? So, like I said, I'm not a touring car guy. I haven't ran one in a while, but after I put those on, I'm like, maybe I should leave it stock. So I took them back off. All right, so I like to attach this thing. It's probably kind of wonky how I do it, but it does work fine. So I'll put me like 4 going one way on here, these little rubber bands that I use for throttle return, right? And then I'll do 4 in the crisscross applesauce direction, opposite. Put a 4-piece nugget on there. And then basically that gives me this corner point here where I just put a zip tie through there and attach via that. Now, I was thinking, just to play it safe, where is, got a roll of electrical tape around here somewhere. Of course, it's going to disappear. I figured it'd be a good idea to throw a circle of tape around there, just in case these things might. I'm not worried about them breaking, but I don't know, they might slip, and it could slip out. You know what? Not what I want to use, but should certainly hold just fine. And I have tested, connection with this thing, and some tape around the edge there I've done before, and does not mess with the signal. So, all right, so that'll keep my rubber bands in place, and then I just take I know this is kind of wonky, but this also, it's temporary. I'm not permanently mounting this thing. This is, just real quick for a test. So I'll just throw me a zip tie through there. And then I kind of want it to just sit right there. So I'll put my zip tie through there. And I'll just tighten it like such. And that thing, also, it's kind of like a shock absorbent mount, you know what I mean? It doesn't put hard vibrations to the unit. Okay, snip that off, and so that's my GPS mount. And it should be pretty much ready to go. I don't think that shouldn't interfere, I'm hoping, with the body at all. Nope, all good there. I will see y'all in the parking lot. Now, let's see what this thing can do. Now we're about to see the running video where I get the top speed with the stock header on it. I didn't have my camera set up good, and I wasn't really paying attention, so a lot of the run was off camera, so it's kind of cut together. But yeah, you'll see the results of the GPS on the iPad there, and I did tune this thing at the end there. I had tuned it. I got everything I could out of it with the stock header. So check out that video. We'll see what kind of top speed it does. See you in a bit. All right, so we are warming her up. GPS is connected, as you can see there. Oop, don't hit the wall. Oh, I need to adjust my trim. It's not going straight. Where's all that? The steering. There you go, that looks better. Thing's kind of nimble. I haven't driven one of these in quite some time. We're getting a good smoke trail there. It doesn't look, certainly doesn't seem to be lean. Oh, see that little bump right there? That's what can happen in the parking lot. You gotta be careful. That's starting to sound a little lean. I haven't heard no shift yet. So we got 42 miles per hour out of that. I'm not even sure if it shifted. Let me start this again. I think it was lean, even though it was putting out a nice smoke trail. I think it was, I richened up the top end a bit, and it seems to be now dropping to a much better idle. We are getting a good smoke trail. Are we getting it at max speed? Yeah, we got smoke all the way. It's kind of fun. All right. It's a pretty fun, nimble little car. All right. Let's see what she did. You think we broke 42? What do you think? Idle's a bit low now, but she's running all right. All right, let's see. Stop. What do you think? Did we break 42? 46. I tell you what, 46 stock out of the box. That is not bad at all. All right, so we'll do a port match on the header and see if we can bust 46. See you in a bit. All right, so we got 46 miles an hour out of this thing. That's not bad at all. This thing was moving pretty darn quick out there, and actually I really like how this thing was handling. These are some good tires I put on it. But, you know, totally stock. solid links everywhere. Nothing's adjusted perfectly, you know, set up. It ran really good. I actually was impressed how this thing handled and ran really fast. So we got 46 out of it with the stock header. All right. I should have probably done this on camera, but I got ahead of myself. I went ahead and removed the pipe. So now I did, as you see, I did not have to remove the engine. If you look at this back here, so there's this plastic piece right here. Plastic piece is normally mounted down there. I took the screw off and removed that, basically to get it out of the way to where I could come straight in with my screwdriver and I can get to both of the bolts. So did not have to remove the engine, just remove that plastic piece, get it out of my way, and I was able to get loosen both of the bolts that hold the header on. And as you can see, that is that header, stock, non-port matched. Okay, so that's what we're going to do the work on. So you remember I said this is my gasket here. I'm going to use that as a template. So I just wanted to verify. So that is the port on our engine. And if we set the gasket on there and line up the holes, because that's where it's going to be held in place with the holes. So if you line it up on there just like such, you will see that it is much, much closer to the exact port than the header is. So this will be a good template, right? That's basically the size and shape we want this header to be. All right. So we got our header off. We got our plan. I want part 2 of this to be just the port match job. So I guess I'm going to attach that. We'll do that in part 2, which is going to be the port matching process, how I do it. So we're ready to go to that now. I will see y'all in part 2. We'll port match this, and then we'll see if we can get some more power out of it. See y'all shortly.